In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to forget our repeated actions have consequences that are vast, devastating, and ultimately irreversible. We toss 80% of the plastic water bottles we use in the garbage without recognizing that it will be at least 450 years before they become decomposed. We drive our cars an average of 37 miles a day, emitting around 24 pounds of carbon dioxide for every gallon of gas we burn. Even right here in Algonquin, our student body trashes over 500 styrofoam lunch trays each afternoon, trays whose chemicals will go on to intoxicate our land, our oceans, and even our air. So where does this leave us? Well, as global temperatures reach record highs and as people continue to bury the world in litter, it becomes increasingly apparent that environmental degradation is not some abstract issue that might happen in the future, but a very real problem that must be dealt with right now. Facts are facts, and science is non-negotiable, so we don't have to ask whether or not something needs to be done. All there is left to ask is whether or not we are willing to do it. Making a difference starts here, and it starts now.
It is our job to leave behind not only a fruitful society, but a physical earth.
Because there's a level of, you have two polarized political parties in America, and you have a leader towards one political movement, you tend to accept all of the tenets of the one movement just because the other movement holds opposite tenets. So the only reason you're supporting that is because you support other things that similar people to you believe.
People have ideas about like how the world should be, and I guess they just don't really understand like the differences between, like I said before, like the past and the present, and kind of like how things have changed. I guess they just like maybe just either don't know it or just like refuse to see it.
I think in this case, ignorance is probably bliss. A lot of people just aren't aware and educated on the topic, so they don't know what to believe, and they can't really decipher between the facts and opinions of people. Especially on the news, it's hard to tell with that sometimes.
I am not informed at all when it comes to that, and it's, I try to be as informed about as many issues as possible, and now I'm acknowledging right in this moment that I don't know much about. I say I believe in climate change, but why? And I say it's scientifically proven, but like I never read like a book about climate change. Like it's just what I hear.
2 years ago, I volunteered for my church, as you can see from my shirt. What a coincidence. But I volunteered in Grafton to actually work on a farm where all the food and crops that were produced went straight to like soup kitchens and stuff like that. So seeing that direct relation to helping the environment, like through agriculture, also helping the community, was pretty beneficial.
I guess like wasting things, or just like not being aware of like what's going on in the world and not like doing anything to help it. Like simple things that's like recycling. Like I don't know, like a lot of people probably don't do that, or like just like taking shorter showers, just stuff like that. I don't know.
Like I said, I think getting people more educated should be the #1 priority, because then we can at least try and start to have those discussions on what we should do next. As far as specific policies, I guess you could just try and emphasize recycling, because that has a huge effect on just overall like air quality and things like that with stuff.
I think just awareness, I think, is the first step. If people are, if like the government or anything is like pushing for these changes and people don't actually believe it, then it's hard to follow it.
Well, starting in America, well, starting with the whole world, we have the Paris Climate Agreement, and that's something America is not currently participating in, so I would like us to reevaluate that, and I hope we will be reevaluating that in a few years.
Well, I guess I get frustrated with the lack of action in terms of individual citizens, but I think the government shouldn't be taking an active role in climate efforts.
Yeah, I mean, I recycle. I know I volunteer at the senior citizens home regularly, and I try and teach them some things like that, because a lot of them, since they're a little bit older and don't stay up with the news, they're not as educated on a lot of stuff like that, so I try and teach them about this new environmental education. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And
Well, I'd like the EPA to be abolished and replaced. I'd like it to be replaced with a smaller committee within the Department of Justice, and that committee within the Department of Justice would prosecute people who do pollution, stuff like that. However, I believe all movements should be led by the people, not by the government, for maximal effectiveness and for not violating, inalienable rights.
But I think it's the simple things. We start at home. Everything starts at home. Everything's grassroots. Starting just by recycling and being more conscious. I know towns are like eradicating like plastic and stuff. It's always the grassroots, the simple things that make the big difference if they're widespread. Yeah, I recycle. I just recycled my water bottle 30 seconds ago. That's a little thing, but I should get a reusable water bottle. I'll go do that because now I'm on record.
I recycle at home. Like me and my family like recycle things and like put in like the transfer station recycle part. And then I take short showers and I use like reusable water bottles and stuff.
I recycle. I try not to use too much paper.
Educate. There's nothing as powerful as knowledge. So, like we have like these single stream bins, but then also these white paper recycling bins, and it's just a little messy. Like, let's just be a little more definitive, and then tell people why. People don't want to participate in something if they don't know why they're participating. They don't want to participate in something that requires extra effort unless they know why they're doing it. So I think educating. I think environmental. I talked to Mr. Weeder the other day. He said something for an interview for the Harbinger. He said something along the lines of like environmental should be a required course, and I suppose it should be. We're required to live on Earth. That's a requirement. It's the only planet we can prosper on. So we should be required to take care of it. Peace and love to our Earth and to one another.
My name is Walker Haskins, and I care.
Oh, you don't.
My name is Maria too, and I care.
My name is Ethan Ash, and I care.
I'm Caroline Oakland, and I care a lot.